All right, Briterion Bollection is back with Byron and Kevin. How you doing out there? How you doing today, Byron?
Yeah, doing good. Glad to do another episode.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. So part of this summer that we were trying to do was we were trying to do summer movies. That was the theme
Yeah,
for this past summer, and we kind of didn't have a lot of time to crank out as many as we wanted to, but we're still gonna try until summer's officially over. We're gonna keep trying to
yeah,
crank some of these out.
right.
So one of my favorite summer movies, like a movie that I think about when I think of summer, is American Pie 2. We have a tradition of leapfrogging the first movie and just going straight to the second one. Like we did that with Blade 2. So we're doing it again with American Pie 2. And yeah, I just remember it just reminds me of like my senior year in high school. That's what it really reminds me of, and just that whole era, early 2000s. Yeah, I mean, I would say, and I think you would agree with me, that American Pie, the first one, is the best movie, quote unquote. But I actually find part two and three even funnier than the first one. Would you agree
Yeah,
with that assessment?
yeah. I don't remember the third one that well. I have to go back and watch it. But the second one has a lot of good moments,
Mhm.
and I think in comparison to the first one, they don't have as lot of funny moments like the second one. So definitely, the second one has more moments that are gonna make you laugh, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and so I would say, yeah, the first one is the best movie. Like, quality of film, the first one is the best one. But joke for joke, I think two and three are even funnier, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's saying something actually, because I know the rewatchables, The Ringer, they did a episode on the first American Pie, and they were like, "Wow, this is horrible. This is aged horribly." Like they were saying like, "Wow, this is really this really wasn't as good as I remember it being." And
Right.
when I heard them saying that, I was like, "Wow, like if you think that's bad, like the rest are even worse as far as like quality." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
as far as like
You might as well not even watch the other one.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
they were saying they didn't like the first one, but
Yeah.
I think the first one is the best.
I think that's them being harsh critics.
Yeah,
They have their views and opinions on it, but like we said, conceptually for a movie, that first one grabs you. It just got funnier as it went on with the
right,
second and third, but the first one is what introduced the whole series, and that's why it got to be where it was at.
right.
So
Yeah, and
so,
I would say the first one is the best film because it had the best directors. It was
yeah,
the Whites brothers, and so it's two brothers who directed that film, and
yeah,
they're real filmmakers. They've gone on to do other great films like About a Boy. But yeah, that's why that film ended up being so good, quote unquote.
yeah. The
They
director plays a big part
yeah,
in there.
and they didn't really do. I think they produced maybe two and three, but they didn't really have much to do with it after that.
No,
So that's why those were just kind of laugh fest
right.
as far as two and three. I didn't see part two in the theater. Did you?
I didn't see any in the theater,
No.
surprisingly. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I waited till they went on TV
Right.
and finally watched all of them.
Yeah, I only saw part three in the theater because I think
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I gotta watch at least one of these movies in the
right,
theater.
right.
So, so I only saw part three. But I remember seeing part two when it came out on like pay per view, and I was just laughing my ass off. I was
Yeah,
dying, and I think I wanted to see part one, but I felt like it was a little too controversial. Like it was, I was hearing a lot about it, and I was hearing it was like a lot of sex, and it was like, okay, no one's gonna take me to see this movie like about sex and stuff.
right.
Like, and maybe my older brother would have, but I didn't. I felt embarrassed to ask him, like,
Yeah.
"Can you take me to see American Pie?" Like, it's,
How do you bring that to a brother?
yeah, yeah. I mean, he probably would. I know he liked the movie even at the time,
Yeah,
and it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But I felt embarrassed, like, for myself at
yeah,
the time.
for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. So American Pie 2, I remember, yeah, seeing it on TV, and it was just hilarious, and I was laughing my ass off. And yeah, like I said, this movie really reminds me of high school. Like the high school I went
Yeah,
to is just like this. Like the guys, it was just a bunch of white jackass dudes, just like this.
yeah,
And the music that they used at the time was exactly the music that was popular right at that time, like
right.
Sum 41,
Yeah,
Blink 182, Alien Ant Farm, like all that crap. Like that was all big at that
right.
time.
definitely, was it 2001-ish time frame?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely our high school years, for sure.
Right. And the movie even opens up with the Universal logo, and it's this Blink-182 song playing on the soundtrack. Yeah, and I wanted to do a Wikipedia description. Something we do is our classic Wikipedia description. It's something, especially I usually do it with Aileen.
Yeah.
So Wikipedia says, the film follows the sexual exploits of 5 friends, Jim, Kevin, Stifler, Oz, and Finch, and their attempts to have the greatest summer party ever at a summer beach house. Home for the summer after college, Jim Levinstein, Kevin Myers, Chris Ozstriker, and Paul Finch attend Steve Stifler's party until the police shut it down. Kevin is inspired by his brother to rent a Lake Michigan beach house and throw a massive party to close out the summer. So that's the Wikipedia description. And so we kind of wanted to pick out certain moments in the film that we felt like were really funny, right? And the opening of the film is kind of funny in the sense that Jason Biggs, he's about to hook up with some chick in his dorm room, and that chick says this is like breakup sex, and he's like, okay, well, we never even had like hello sex. So it's like, how's this breakup sex? And while they're trying to get it on, his family shows up. Yeah, his family shows up, and they want to surprise him. So like the resident advisor lets him in. And like he opens the door and you can see the shot. He's like on top of the girl, and you see his dad like right behind him, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He jumps off and he's flying off, and they're trying to cover themselves. Yeah. And then his mom walks in, and it's like, "Oh my god, mom!" Like, mom. And then all of a sudden, this other lady comes in. And it's that chick's mom. Yeah. And then her dad comes in. And he's like, "What the fuck?" and the dad. Did you recognize the dad there?
Forget.
He plays Dr. Giggles.
That's right.
Yeah, I know you love that movie.
Yeah.
Dr. Giggles.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. And he was also in LA Law back in the day. He was on that show. Yeah, so I mean, I thought that was pretty funny, that scene. And then, we're introduced to all the other guys. Sean William Scott, he's a real jackass. He plays Stifler. Yeah. And then we see that Chris Klein, who plays Oz, and you see the dynamics between them. Like you see him, he's just studying, and then all of a sudden Stifler comes out. He's like, "Hey, you fuckface!" Like yeah, like he's like, I've had friends like those. Well, they're not even really friends. Like they're not really frenemies necessarily, because you're not even like that close with them. But they're just like guys that you don't necessarily hate, but they just always like talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We all have people like that.
Yeah. So, and I was gonna say Chris Klein. So I think I was telling you, he was discovered for this movie Election, which was the year before. And that was actually his first movie. And he wasn't even really an actor. The director, Alexander Payne, he wanted to shoot at that school because I think that's where he's from. I think they shot that in like Lincoln, Nebraska. So they went there, and he wanted to shoot at this school. I don't know if it was his school as a high schooler or just some other random school. And they're like, okay, we need actors for this. And they saw Chris Klein's headshot, but he wasn't even really trying to be an actor. And they were like, okay, like let's audition him. And they auditioned him, and they casted him in the movie. So that was his first movie, Election. And then he did American Pie after that. But they're pretty connected because, I mean, in that movie, he also played a high schooler. So it's like, it's like an easy
transition, so to speak.
Yeah. So, yeah. And he was kind of a similar character. Like he was kind of an innocent. He was innocent, but then he was also doing like stupid shit, like trying to get laid and stuff like that. It was kind of similar in that regard. And actually, I didn't really like the movie. I didn't love Election. Aileen loves that movie. I like Alexander Payne's other movie, Sideways. I love that movie. That movie's great. Which I showed that to you, right?
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody loves that movie. I think when we decided to talk about the movie, we might have a round table of like 5 or 6 people because everybody I know loves that movie. Wow. Like I love it. You liked it. Chris likes it. Aileen likes that movie. George loves that movie. My sister Denise loves that movie.
It's just one of those movies.
Yeah, it's like universal. I remember we were hanging out one day, and you were like, "Okay, what's a movie we can watch?" And I was kind of like, well, this movie's really good. I don't know if you want to take a chance on it. And it ended up being pretty damn funny, right? Yeah. So,
That's good.
Yeah, Sideways, Alexander Payne. We'll talk about it sometime. And so what was your first moment that you wanted to bring up in the film?
That was a good one. My first moment was the pissing scene where
so they're at a party.
And there's a guy that needs to take a piss, and he goes to the balcony, and Stifler just happens to be down there trying to make out with the girl, and I think something gets knocked over the balcony.
Yeah.
By the person taking the piss, and knocks her out, and then she's supposed to be pouring because she has a bottle of champagne, and so he's waiting for it, and instead he's getting peed on.
Right.
And I thought that was like the first moment that really kind of like, oh wow, it's shocking funny,
Yeah.
Like I didn't think, I didn't expect that to happen in the movie, but as it was happening, there's humor in it as well. So that was my first moment.
No, yeah, I was gonna talk about that too. Because so they're at this house party at Stifler's house. Like the whole crew has kind of reunited back in their town.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, okay, Stifler's gonna have this party. It's gonna be cool. So it'll be like high school days, like we used to kick
reminiscing, right?
Yeah, so it'll be like that after our freshman year in college. Yeah. So they go there, and it's a pretty poppin' party, and there's a line for the bathroom. So we see John Cho and this other guy. So it's the same. So John Cho and the other guy, they're the ones in the first one, in the first American Pie, and they coined the MILF because they saw Stifler's mom, and they're like, oh, she's a MILF.
And he's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, I like to fuck.
Yeah. That gave birth to this whole thing. Because he's never heard of MILF before.
So you actually got to give that guy credit. From a movie.
Yeah.
He popularized it. People might have said it just in everyday, but as far as making it more bigger, it came from that movie and it came from him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so, John Cho, and then the other guy, who I don't know who the other guy is, but,
I don't remember him saying.
But it's funny because I was looking at the credits and it was like John Cho, like his character is John.
No Cho.
Just John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess they didn't want to say John Cho as Asian guy.
Felt that scene right or something.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because Mina Suvari is also in this, and she plays Oz's girlfriend Heather, and I felt like she was underused in the film because it was like she's on studying abroad. Obviously, they're still together, but they're trying to do this long distance relationship.
It's kind of a weird thing.
It felt kind of forced to me.
Yeah.
Like I would have just cut her out completely.
I mean, if all they're gonna do is have a phone conversation because she's not physically there, then it's like, do you really need to shoot that?
Yeah.
But I guess the director and the writer want to show the connection between those two. So.
Right. I guess maybe they were trying to show loyalty to her.
Yeah. Like I can mess with other girls, but even though you're not here, I'm still going to be quote unquote loyalty.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. When he was at the party, obviously, there's other girls around. So.
Yeah. He held his own. And so it's funny that Mina Suvari, she was in American Pie and American Beauty in '99. She did both of those movies.
No, okay.
And those are both great films, totally different type of films. But I love American Beauty a lot too. That movie's the shit. But it's funny because she's not the only person in this movie who was in both of those movies. You know who the other person was?
No,
it was John Cho. He's in American Pie and American Beauty too. He has a small part in American Beauty because in American Beauty, Kevin Spacey's wife, played by Annette Bening, she's a real estate broker, and she's showing houses, and there's a quick scene where she's showing John Cho a house. Like he's playing older than his age, or he's playing his actual age at the time, like 20-something. Yeah, and he's like buying a house. He's looking at houses with his wife. So it's funny that they're both in it. So but it's funny, that scene they're talking about. So they're in line, and there's a long ass line for the bathroom, and he doesn't want to wait, so he goes somewhere else, and Stifler is outside trying to hook up with this chick named Christy. And so that Christy chick, she's actually played by, her name is Joanna Garcia, and she's done other stuff, but she's actually Nick Swisher's wife, and Nick Swisher, he played for the Yankees before.
Oh,
so it's just kind of interesting that she would be in it. I mean, she's been an actress too, but the fact that they're married at this point is pretty interesting. So John Cho, while Stifler is outside with that chick says, "Oh, close your eyes," and he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And she's like, "I'm gonna do something special for you." And he's like, "All right." So he closes his eyes, and then John Cho goes out to pee on the balcony, but he knocks over a flower vase, and it hits her on the head, and it like knocks her unconscious.
Right.
So, but he has his eyes closed, so he doesn't know what he's going to do. Yeah.
he's
And all of a sudden he starts feeling this liquid all over his face and in his mouth. He's like, "Oh God, yeah, it's so good, so sexy."
Right.
Yeah.
Not knowing when it starts to taste it as it's coming down.
Yeah, exactly. And then John Cho doesn't know what he's doing either. He's just peeing.
Well, he doesn't know it's getting on anything.
Right. Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
letting it out.
Yeah, and it's funny that that guy is still next to him though. It's like, why is the other guy next to you? Like if he's not peeing.
Right. Like you just want to be next to someone.
Yeah. Like there's something kind of
weird about
I don't know if they like the MILFs really. I think they like DILFs maybe.
Yeah.
That's
a whole other conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Deadly DILFs. They like that. Yeah. So that and then Stifler realizes like, wait, like what? Like he can taste like the so that's a pretty damn funny scene.
Yeah,
I think
that was the first one that stuck out to me.
Yeah, and on a side note, I love John Cho. I thought he was great, and him and Eddie Kaye Thomas, who plays Finch, they've worked together a lot. They've done the American Pie movies. They did a show together actually at that time. It was like in 01. It was like in early 01. It was called Off Center, and I watched every episode of that. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, and it was actually from the creators of American Pie. I guess that's why they did it together. From the Weitz brothers. It was fucking hilarious. And you can find episodes of it on Tubi or YouTube, one of those. It's hilarious. Watch it. Off Center. It's really funny. And I like Eddie Kaye Thomas. I think he's pretty cool. And he also did How to Make It in America, the show on HBO. That show's really good too. He's like the king of canceled shows because that show didn't only lasted like 2 seasons, but that show's really good. If you haven't seen those, Off Center and How to Make It in America, if you're a big Eddie Kaye Thomas fan. And then also something weird about Eddie Kaye Thomas is that I remember seeing on the news that he brought some chick over to his house, I guess, one night, and then she like tried to kill him. That was on the news. It was like because he called the cops. He was like, "Oh, this chick like she just tried to kill me right now." Yeah. So I mean, but he hasn't done anything in a while. I haven't seen his ass in a long time.
Yeah.
But Eddie Kaye was also in Harold and Kumar too, which obviously John Cho was in.
Yeah.
So
they're connected to a lot.
Yeah, and I plan on talking about Harold and Kumar sometime.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. What was your next moment that you were gonna say?
I don't know the order, but I just have the moments that I jotted down.
Sure.
But the next one I wanted to bring up was the trumpet scene, and you have
the trombone.
Trombone, yeah. Petey, which was Jason Biggs' character, but he wasn't really a trumpet player. Obviously, he stumbles onto this band playing out, and
so he's trying to go visit Michelle, played by Allison Hannigan.
Yeah,
because he hooked up with her in the first one, and so that's really his only sexual experience that he has. So he wants to ask her if it was good. That way, he can have confidence if Nadia comes back, right? So he goes to her band camp because that's what she's into, and he kind of he stumbles into it, right? And she's like, "Oh, like try to blend in." So cut to we see him with some short ass shorts, and there's like tight ass shorts and this tight ass blue polo shirt, and he's dressed like all of them, but he's wearing these tight ass shorts for whatever reason, I guess just to look funny. And they think like so he sees some guy. He sees like one of the heads of the program, the music program, and he gets scared. So he turns around and he bangs his head on his loud ass, on his big ass bell that's there. And he turns around, like, dang, and then he's knocked out. He's like, oh shit. And then that guy's like, oh, are you Petey? And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're Petey. Let's go. Yeah. And he assumes he's a special ed kid that they bring in special ed students to help with to play music with the program. And so they're like, Petey. And then we turn around and he's in this big like amphitheater where there's like hundreds of people, and he's like, oh shit. And he's like, I
gotta play. I gotta entertain these people. So
exactly. And he's like kind of nervous. He's kind of like, and then the guy's like, just blow it, kid. And he like slaps his ass. The guy. He's just blow into it, and he smacks him. And so he's there with this big ass trombone. Right.
Play it.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, so he just goes like, oh, and then everyone's like, and he gets like scared how loud it is. Like, he doesn't expect it to be that loud, but then the crowd is like, yeah, like they know that they think he's special ed, so they're like, come on, so they give him like a standing ovation, and he's like, all right, and so he's just like, wow. Yeah, and then Allison Hannigan, I mean, Michelle, she's looking at him like, what the fuck? And then he gets all into it, and he's dancing, and he's like doing his pelvic thrust.
He got past the.
Yeah, he's like,
awkward.
Yeah.
So yeah, that scene was definitely.
Yeah, that scene's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, memorable for sure.
Right, and so they're like, okay, good job, Petey, and then they clap for him, kind of when he's done.
He does say some stuff after that wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, because they're like giving him a standing ovation, and he's like, my name's Petey, and I have gigantic balls, and then they're like, whoa, like the clapping just stops. Yeah, and then everyone's like looking at him all weird, and he's like, okay, and then they're like, all right, Petey, let's go.
That was your cue to get out.
Leave. Yeah. Come on, Petey Pablo.
All right.
Let's go back to North Carolina. Yeah.
I'll take a little pre-Petey Pablo.
Pre-Petey Pablo. Yeah.
It was close to that time.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, I think a few years later that he came out. So
yeah, because then Petey Pablo came out like 03.
I want to say 04.
Yeah.
03, 04.
Yeah.
So it's like right after this movie came out.
This was from North Carolina, come on, raise up.
Yeah, it was an anthem for sure.
Right.
It's pretty big.
I remember it was funny one time we were working at Target, because me and Byron used to work at Target before, and I used to work a lot in electronics. Here's Mel, he's coming for a visit. And I remember me and Dennis were working there one day, and then there was this like nerdy kid just standing there, and we were in the boat, in the electronics like boat area, like the little counter thing. And then we saw him because we were helping some other lady, and then that kid was just standing there all awkwardly, and we're like, is he with her, or is he like what's he doing? Like, and then so Dennis was like, do you need help? And then this nerdy ass kid, he was like, you got Petey Pablo or whatever?
I don't even remember
that. Yeah, that's what he asked. And then Dennis was like, no, we don't. And then the kid's like, okay. He just ran off. Yeah. Because I mean, no, we didn't. We did not have that at that time. Yeah, it was already way later. That was like 08 or 09.
Oh,
there was no reason we would have Petey
by that time.
Yeah,
not in the rotation of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are like, he already knew without researching. He's like, no, we don't have that.
Right. I'm not even gonna look that up. I just know we don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So our next moment we're gonna talk about is it the lesbian?
I would say the lesbian.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great scene.
Yeah, that was good. You know, they're at this house and I think they're painting, right? And
they get painter jobs for the summer.
Right, and they just happen to stumble on some lesbians, and Steve was like,
Lebanese lesbians.
He was like, they got lesbians living in this house.
Yeah, and they're like, no, shut the hell up.
Yeah, they end up going in the house while they're, I think, undressing or something.
He's like, they're lesbians, and they're like, no, shut up. And then Finch especially is like, no, like you're being stupid, like just shut up.
Yeah, like
girls hold hands and they're not gay.
He didn't buy the lesbian.
Yeah, and so he saw that they were leaving, and he's like, I'm going in. So Stifler runs in, and then Jim and Finch are like, oh shit. So they run after him. They're like, oh, come on. They're trying to pull him out of there.
Right.
But then he comes out, and he's like, look what I found, this big ass dildo, this blue dildo. Right. And then Jim's like, where'd you get that? And then he's like, Finch's ass. That's what he said. And he's like, oh, buddy. But they're inside. They're like, okay, we need to get the hell out of here. That's what they're saying. And they all have like these walkie-talkies too. They have these like yellow Motorola walkie-talkies. Yeah. So they're using those to communicate, but it's for the work, like it's for the painting, but they're using it to like talk about the chicks too.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we cut to, they turn around and those chicks are coming back. Like they just went to 7-Eleven and they have like Slurpees. Yeah.
So they had to hide.
And they're like, oh shit, those chicks are coming back. And then they're like, get the hell out of there. And they're like, oh shit, like no, it's too late. We can't get out of there because if we get out, then they'll see us. Yeah. And they're like, okay, we gotta hide. So then they hide. And so Jim goes under the bed and Finch and Stifler are in the closet.
Right.
And so they're just trying to be quiet.
They're making like noise.
Yeah.
So they're starting to hear commotion. Like, what is that? Like, is there people in here? And...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so the chicks they come in and they're like, okay. And then they're like starting to get like undress each other too. Like they're starting to change or something. And they're like, oh my God. And then that Kevin guy, he's looking through the window and he's like, oh, they're deep pantsing. And they're like, oh, deep pantsing. Oh my God. And then other random dudes throughout the area are listening on their walkie-talkies that they have. Like some cops are listening. Some guy barbecuing is listening. yeah, everyone's hearing this and they're like, oh my god. And so like they're describing it. They're like, oh, she's taking off her mask and she's taking off her bra. So like they're all describing it and everyone's all into it. Which is kind of like it's a mirror to the scene from the first one when Jim is showing that on the webcam. Yeah,
and everyone's watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even the Blink 182 guys are watching. So this is like a mirror scene.
It is. So, it's just audio versus visual.
Exactly. Yeah.
The other one hears
exactly. Yeah. So they actually went backwards. Like the first one was like internet, modern technology. So they went like analog. They went. Backwards. Yeah, they went to CB radio technology. Which is kind of funny. So they're there, and then the girls, they hear them saying like, "Oh, like where's our favorite toy?" And so you're thinking like, "Oh, it's that dildo that he has." And like, yeah, that dildo, that's our favorite toy. And then they're like, "Oh, wait, I found the toy," and they're like, "Wait, what?" And then it's like some doll or some random like doll that they have, and they're like, oh, "Okay." And then, but then I think these guys start making noise in the closet, like they're like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then the girls hear that, and they're like, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" And they're like, "Oh shit!" And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call the cops if you don't come out." And so they're like, "Okay, fine." So they all come out, and the girls are like, "What the fuck?" Like there's just three guys. They're like, "Oh, you guys are the painter guys, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, but like they're like, "It's our friend's fault. He came in here because he thought you guys were lesbians, and then we were trying to get him out, but then it was too late." And then they're like, "So you think we're lesbians, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, you're fucking lesbian." Stifler's all like into it, and they're like, "Oh, they're like, you want to mess with them?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's mess with them." So, but like they don't hear that somehow, like, and so so like okay, so they're like, "Okay, we'll do stuff if you do stuff," and so like they're like, "Okay, what do you mean?" So they keep like raising the stakes with each other, right?
Yeah, stakes get raised.
So what's the first thing they do? Is it kiss or is she touching her?
Yeah, I think it was touching her.
Oh, touching her ass, right? Yeah, that was the first thing.
Yeah, and they had to.
Yeah, so they're like, "Okay, I'll grab her ass, like, but you need to grab his ass or touch his ass." And
they didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
but they did that one.
Yeah, so like they say, "Okay, if you want us to do it, then do it." And they're also saying it on the radio too. Right. And then, but then the Kevin guy's like, "I don't want to see him touch his ass," so he kind of goes down. Because then Stifler, but then Finch is like, "Okay, yeah,
just
touch
do
my
it.
ass,
Just do it.
just touch my ass." So Stifler's like, "All right, I want to see that shit, so yeah, I'll touch your ass." But he just pokes it, and she's like, "No, you need to like slap his ass full on." And he's like, "All right, fine." So he like really grabs his ass, and then they're like, "All right, now we'll do it." And then she grabs her ass, and they're like, "Oh yeah," they're all into it, and they're telling it on the radio, and there's some like guy barbecuing. His kids are playing with the radio.
Yeah, they're hearing this.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so horny," or something like that. And then the mom was like, "Oh, like what good
toys?
Yeah, nice toys you got it for Christmas." And he's like, "Oh, I'll hide these." He's like, "I'll put these away." And then he's like listening to him. And then they hear they heard cops in the background. They're like, "What the hell?" Like when they had the radio. And the cop is like, "Oh," he's like, sorry." He's like, "I'm not listening to this anymore." And then he like turns it up. He says that he's like, "I won't be listening to this anymore," but he just turns it up. And then they're like, "Okay, like it's like okay, if we kiss, like you guys kiss, then we'll kiss." So then they're like, "All right." So they're like, "Okay, you two kiss." So she's like, "Okay." So they want Jim and Stifler to kiss. I mean, Stifler's involved in all these pretty much, right? Like
he's the one that wants them to do it.
Yeah. So they're like, "Okay." So they're like, "Fine, all right, we'll do it." He's like, "Come on, like stop being a pussy and kiss me."
He's acting more like, gotta do this.
It's funny that he's calling him a pussy for not kissing him. Like, you know what I mean? So like
the balance that he goes to, right?
Yeah, he's like, "All right." So then like they like like tremble towards each other. They do kiss with tongue, and they're like, "Yeah," which I was saying it's not the last time he kissed some dude with tongue.
Yeah,
Sean William Scott. He also kissed Will Ferrell in Old School when he's giving him CPR, and then Will Ferrell like sticks his tongue out. He's like, "What the fuck?" Which is hilarious. If you haven't seen that movie, it's fucking hilarious. It's a really funny movie. So then they're like, "Okay, now you guys kiss, now we'll kiss," and they're like, "Okay, like you want me to see me play with her body?" And they're like, "Yeah," and like, "All right, hand jobs then," and they're like, "Okay," like they're like, "We're ready," and they're like, "No, like you on each other." And they're like, "Whoa, I don't know if we can do that. Like that's kind of crossing the line." And then Stifler was like, "Oh, like I'm gonna take one for the team. Like you guys gotta man up." And so he's like about to pull down his pants.
And they just run out.
Yeah, and then we cut to them running out. They're like, "Whoa!" Like I don't want to do anything with that.
He's like, "Come on, you guys."
That's my dick.
Like, too far.
Like, yeah, he's really into this whole thing. But what's funny is I don't think I ever I only saw one of those chicks again, the lesbian chicks.
Yeah,
the one with longer hair. I saw her in George Lopez. She was on some George Lopez episode.
I've never seen either one of them.
Yeah, and I never saw her again after that.
So they were kind of like
a
quick exit,
right? Yeah.
I mean, unless they did some stuff we just never seen.
That's all I recall her from was the George Lopez, and the other girl. I don't think I ever saw her again. Yeah. Which is kind of sad because it's like at least they're known for this one scene, but it's like.
And this movie was pretty big.
Yeah, it was a big movie.
It was a second of a first one.
Trilogy.
First one was a hit. Yeah, so you would have thought you just would have seen them in something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So what was the next? This kind of transitions to the next thing.
I think that the biggest scene, if not, is the VHS.
Yeah. I was gonna get to that. So this kind of transitions to that because afterwards they're all like concerned about their sexuality. They're like especially Stifler. He's
because they had a moment.
Yeah, they're like, all right,
considered obvious.
Pause. Right. Yeah. So Cameron would not approve of that. So anyways, Stifler was like, we're straight, so we're gonna watch straight porn. So he gives them each a VHS. He's like, here you go. Here you go. Here's some. He's like, hands them out to him. Here you go, Jim. Here's some lotion for you. Yeah, he gives them all porn, and then they're scoffing at that kind of. Right. They're like porn. We need porn. Right. We're planning on getting laid.
Right. But it's a backup if you don't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Obviously, we find out that someone did it, and it didn't turn out
right. So one of these nights, and so then we cut to this Michelle Branch montage where it has her song that was big at the time. And then we see Finch. He's doing Tai Chi or some shit in his room, and he's meditating because he's really pretentious. Now he's into Eastern shit like that.
This is what he's into.
Yeah, this is what he's into. So he's doing that in his room, and he's tried to teach Jim how to do it. So Jim is in his room trying to do it. Yeah, and then he does some karate kick, and he breaks the lamp that's there. He's like, "Oh shit!" So we see him super gluing that lamp back together. So that plays a vital part in the next sequence. Yeah. So we see him super gluing that lamp back together, and he puts the super glue next to his bed, and then the nightstand. So then that night or the next night or something, he's about to go to bed. He turns on all the lights and he's about to go to bed. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, wait, let me turn on the lights.
I got this.
Yeah. So then he's like, he gets that VHS. And what's that VHS called?
Pussy Palace.
Pussy Palace.
Of all the names you get.
Yeah, exactly. That's I'd like to see that royal family. Palace.
What kind of palace is it?
Yeah.
Pussy one.
Pussy Palace.
By the title.
I'm surprised they didn't mention that in From Dusk Till Dawn in the pussy speech that he does. Got green pussy, red pussy, black pussy.
Pussy Palace pussy.
Yeah.
No.
Pussy Palace. He's like, come on in, pussy lovers.
That would have been great to throw that in.
Yeah.
They did.
That would have been, Yeah, man. When we talk Dusk, we're going to get to that.
That's another segment.
Yeah. Cheech married. That's the thing. That speech in From Dusk Till Dawn, I'm kind of segueing, but it sounds like he improvised it, but that was totally written in the script. It was.
I was an ass.
Yeah, it was totally.
I could see him just coming off the hook.
No, it was totally in the script.
So that's it. Yeah. That was.
And then on the commentary that Tarantino and Rodriguez do on that. Tarantino was like, "Oh, he killed my pussy speech. He killed."
So he says that was mine.
He was like, "Yeah, that was all there," but he brings so much life to it.
He brought it out. Everyone to see.
Yeah, because you can imagine some guy like this, in TJ outside Hong Kong or something. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, Pussy Palace. So he pops in Pussy Palace. Right. Peter Piper popped the Pussy Palace. Right. He
pops in.
So he pops it in. Yeah, he's watching it, and it's like, oh, this is normal. Yeah, this is good.
But then he decides to get.
Yeah. So then he busts out the lube, and he looks at it. He's like, all right. So he's under the sheets. He's using the lube.
He's getting himself ready.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh shit.
I can't move. This is not. This is something different.
Yeah, like he kind of freezes, but then he's like, okay, he gets it. I guess he finds a groove to it or something. So he keeps going, and then he's like, oh shit, look.
I can't move.
Yeah, he's like jerking. He's like, what the fuck? And then he looks over and he's like, oh shit. And he actually used super glue instead of the lube on himself. He's like trying to do it, but you can hear like tearing on the soundtrack. Like on the sound design, you can hear like like tearing on it.
That'd be funny if they would have played Jizza's song "Labels."
Oh yeah, that
Did you read the labels?
He didn't read the label.
Yeah, it was
Take
funny.
a word from the genius himself. Dude. Yeah, so he's tearing his shit while he's there, and he's like, "Oh, right," and then he's like, "Okay, like this is embarrassing enough. Let me stop the movie." You know, like if they catch and like the other guys can hear him too. That he's fucking around.
Yeah, I think they say something like,
yeah. Oz is like, "Everything good in there?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." Yeah, he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Let me stop the movie at least." So he tries to stop the movie and take it out. And then he tries to like throw it out, but then he's like, "Oh shit!" It's like stuck to his hand. So he's like, the VHS is stuck to his left hand, and his right hand is stuck to himself.
So
right?
he's handling this right now.
Yeah,
he's both his hands.
So he's trying to figure out how the hell to get out of this. So he goes in the shower. He's like trying to wash himself like loose, but it's not working.
He tries to dial in what she does, but for help. But
he does not want to. He said, but it's funny. He's like, "Oh, I sort of super glued myself to myself." Right. And then he's like, "Oh, let me try to get paint thinner," and he's trying to get paint thinner, and then he's like, and then he winds up on the roof of the damn place.
And the guy's like, "Let me see your hand."
And then some cop rolls up, some ranger rolls up. He's like, "Hey, Frizz!" And he's like,
"I can't."
What's up? And he's like, "Oh, like, yeah, I'm trying to." And he's like, "Oh, both hands." He's like, "I can't." And then we see we see his boxers fall off and his ass, and the guy's like, "Okay, what the hell am I looking at?" And so we cut to them like paramedics taking him to the hospital, and fix him up. Yeah, and then Finch and Oz and Kevin are kind of helping him. They already found
this scene kind of reminds me of an embarrassing scene in Something About Mary.
Oh yeah, zipper. Yeah, exactly.
That's embarrassing, right?
Exactly. Paramedics.
And the paramedics had to take him out. But that was
you're right. Yeah, I mean, Something About Mary came out in '98,
and that's another good movie too. Yeah, probably.
Farrelly Brothers. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
Ben Stiller. It's one of his best, and she did good too.
Yeah, Cameron
Diaz did good too.
Like it was. Yeah, it was a really cool movie. Yeah, and that
just reminded me of that because it was a sexual thing. You know,
for sure.
You know, it's embarrassing too. Like he gets zipper caught, he gets caught with his hands.
No, I don't think you get American Pie unless you've had Something About Mary.
You get inspirations, right? Because you see that and then you piggyback off.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we can push the envelope like that. Okay, we'll push it even more. You know? So I think for sure you get. So Farrelly Brothers did Dumb and Dumber, and then they did Kingpin, and then they did Something About Mary, and then those are really big comedies. You know that really set the tone for the '90s, especially the late '90s going into 2000.
That's what American Pie was. Like
99. Yeah, exactly.
Last year,
and they shot that like '98, like when Something About Mary came out.
Right. So they shot it the same year. That was.
Exactly. They had to get inspiration from that for sure. Right. So that was the super glue scene.
Yeah. Was there any other moments that you? Those were pretty much.
There was like kind of a sub moment where he visits her, like Jim visits Michelle at the band camp again.
Okay.
Because he's like, "Oh, like you said you would give me pointers, like sexual pointers, like okay, okay, what can we do?" And she's like, "Well, you're too tense. You need to relax." Like, she's like, "Stand up," and so he stands up, and she's like, rips down his pants, rips down his shorts, and he's like, "Whoa, yeah."
And obviously he gets an erection.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, you need to like the Sears Tower."
She's like, to the Sears Tower. It's like you're being a little benevolent there. Michelle.
And then she takes the trumpet and fucking
So then and then she's like, "Close your eyes," and he closes his eyes, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "It's cold." And you see in the master shot, she has a trumpet up his ass, where you blow into up his ass.
And he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I just put the trumpet up." And they hear like the instructor coming, right?
Yeah. So they run out.
And then he fucking go downstairs.
Yeah, they're outside.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously that thing was up his ass, and he left it on the floor. So the old guy sees it there, but then they're outside, and they're like, "Okay, well, thanks for meeting with me." And then she like kisses him goodbye.
And then they leave.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you see in the shadow that guy pull up with the trumpet. Yeah. Jim is like, what the fuck? Playing that shit? Oh my god! Like he grossed himself out.
His own ass
Yeah.
grossed himself out.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
He's like, dude, like you don't know where that's been.
He was playing it so like
Yeah.
clearly, like,
Yeah.
like
He's like, oh, let me try this out.
yeah, I forgot about that moment.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. What was another?
I think, I mean, there might have been a few other ones that we might have missed, but those were, I think, the main ones.
Yeah.
If you were looking
Yeah,
at
those
them,
kind of were
I'd
the
say
main ones. Yeah.
that kind of stood out. So
Right.
yeah.
And kind of what you said earlier too. You kind of liked how at the end they all kind of had someone at the end, right? They all hooked up with someone. Right?
Yeah. At the end of the movie, they all are seen laying in bed, except for Finch. But Finch, in the end, the very end,
Yeah.
is in the car, and you see the car moving with Stifler's mom, so you know he got it then. But
Right.
all the other people, even the Shermanator,
Yeah.
gets some.
Shermanator hooks up with Nadia.
Yeah, with Nadia. And obviously, everyone else got, and then Stifler ended up getting the two women that were
the two lesbians.
That was lesbians.
Yeah. He hooks up with them. He's all happy.
And that was thanks to his little brother who hooked him up with them in the party, and then he kicked his little brother out.
Yeah.
And then everybody else had the relationship that they already had, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Heather
Oz
Oz
already had a
they got to
relationship.
hook up after
so everybody kind of
so long. Yeah.
And then the only one that didn't but started a relationship was Tara Reid's character.
They kind of started over Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin.
My namesake. Yeah.
Right. Because you see them talking. So even though he didn't get any, they started over to see.
Yeah.
But everybody else was.
Yeah. It was like a happy ending, pretty much. And it's funny. I was gonna say some side notes. I remember the dude who plays Kevin, Thomas Ian Nicholas is his name.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him in all these kid movies because he was in Rookie of the Year.
What else was he in?
He was in Kid in King Arthur's Court too.
So he played in a few.
Yeah, and that was just like a couple years before American Pie, the first American Pie. Okay. So it was weird seeing him in all these kid movies, and all of a sudden I see him in American Pie. Yeah, and he's like talking about getting laid and stuff like that. I was like, what the hell?
The transition.
Is this guy like 15? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Probably like
maybe he's probably like 18, 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it's like, dude, this guy was just like in some Disney movie a second ago.
And now he's talking
about blowjobs.
Like, there was no milk.
It was like a little Rookie of the Year, Playmate of the Year.
Where's the middle ground? Yeah. You just skipped all over like, yeah, I want chicks.
It was like kind of like it was like weird when I was younger. Like it was like
you didn't really get the parallel. Like I seen him in this, and now I'm seeing
like that was a quick transition.
Yeah, I'm seeing him talking about getting ass.
Yeah. Talking about pussy. He was talking about curveballs.
Last time I saw him talking about curveballs. Now he's talking about
exactly.
Chicks, you know,
hooking up
and getting into some chicks.
Yeah.
That's quite.
They grow up so fast, don't they?
Yeah.
And then it's funny that dude, that Shermanator dude. I remember seeing him in a lot of kids shit.
What did you see him in?
I forgot what shit, but I would always see his face.
Looks like he was.
He was in shit like that. He was like in a lot. He was in a lot of movies.
He
was in a lot of like commercials too. I'd always see him because he just has that look.
He has that look that you can put him in.
That like type of redhead nerd.
Yeah. He would just fit in that type of shit. So.
No, but what's funny? So he did American Pie, and then this part 2, they're in college, right?
Yeah.
And then so in 2007, that's years later, he's in The Mist. He's actually in The Mist. Yeah. But he plays like a high school kid in that. So it's like,
I had him playing like a kid?
Like, dude,
I've never seen The Mist like once or twice, and I don't remember it. I know the storyline of it, but I don't remember
like all the characters and stuff like that.
I forgot that.
He has a small part where he plays like a checkout boy,
at the actual grocery store.
At the grocery store. Yeah. They're like, come on, kid, and he's like 35 in that. You know what I mean? It's like
it's like you still shouldn't be playing high school.
Yeah.
When you're playing high school back in '99, so it's like college in the second American Pie. And all of a sudden you're still playing high school.
You're actually playing younger. How is that possible?
I mean, unless he just has the face that he looked young.
I mean, he still kind of looked young, but
physically you're not that young, so you shouldn't be playing anything.
Yeah.
But Donald Faison played young a lot.
Yeah.
Because when he did Clueless, he was young.
Yeah.
But then I saw him again in like this movie called Trippin'. He was playing in high school.
I remember that.
And that was like in '99.
Yeah.
So I was like, 4 years later, you're still playing like
you're still in high school. Yeah.
So some of these people just get caught in certain roles, and they no matter how old they are, they like to cast it out.
Right. So I guess a gig is a gig. Is a gig, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't grow out of their characters.
Yeah, so like we said, everyone kind of hooks up with someone except Finch. He's like, don't worry.
We kind of got the best of it all because not saying Stifler's mom was the best looking or anything,
right?
But the way he got it, it was unexpected, and then they kind of have a conversation in the car, and he's like, "You better clear your schedule."
Yeah,
he hops in the car. He's like, "Give me 3 days." You just see the car.
Yeah, the car takes off right when Stifler walks out.
And it was perfect because he just sees the car going, but he doesn't see who's in it.
Yeah, and he doesn't see much of it. He
doesn't know. But then he just guesses who, where's Finch at? Yeah. And then it's like obviously Finch with his mom.
Yeah, but they're like, oh.
So it was kind of like I think he got it best of everyone. Not only did he get his mom, but he kind of got away with it because he didn't really see it happening. But he kind of figured it.
Yeah, exactly.
Physical proof. So
yeah.
Finch won out on that.
Yeah, and then Stifler's like, "Who the fuck was in that car?" Like he's starting to put 2 and 2 together. Kind of.
By then it was too late.
Yeah, it was way too late.
They just cut to the scene of him in the car.
Yeah, you see the car rocking on the side of the lake.
That was the cap of the movie.
Yeah, and he asked her a few minutes before that. He's like, "What's your name anyway?" And she's like, "Janine." And,
but then she's like, "Call me Stifler's mom."
Yeah. And so they're doing it. She's like, "Stifler's mom, Stifler's mom."
And then it just kind of
just the echo. Yeah. And then
that was a great way.
Credits. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You ended on that note.
Right.
They all leave and then he gets some and the movie goes off. So
right. Yeah.
Good movie. It's good.
I think
good sequel. I gotta watch the third one again now. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
The second one, rewatching it. It's been some time since I've seen it. So I didn't realize how many moments it was because I remember those moments, but until you rewatch it again, you're like, wow, this was some good moments.
Yeah.
So I was glad that we chose to do this one because I always thought it was a good movie, but just rewatching it, realized how many.
You're reminded.
I was reminded of how many funny moments there are in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's hella funny. You know what's crazy? So this movie came out August 10th, 2001. Right? I mean, a month later, 9/11. Yeah,
it was right before.
Yeah,
put in that context.
So it's just crazy. Like I remember
and everything changed. And you know what? You could do a segment on that. How was it? I remember what I was doing. I was in my
9/11 is coming up.
I was in my
a couple days. Go ahead.
I want to say it wasn't government. I remember the class. It might have been a history class or something. But that day I remember going with my friend, and we had saw something as we were going to school in the morning. And then obviously all the teachers that had the TVs in the class, they're just showing it and talking about it. And that would be a segment to talk about, not only how that changed life for everybody after that, but just like remembering where you were and how the day went.
Well, if you want to talk about it right now, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, being with my friend at the time. And, I used to get rides with this guy, and I still keep in contact with him, actually. His name is Jared. And it's funny, he lives in El Cajon where I live. And, we don't really talk about that, but I was with him that morning, and it was just routine. He would take us, his mom would take us to school. And then we heard, maybe on the way to school, I don't know. I think we just had a station on, and obviously it was breaking news. Mm-hmm. And then I get to school, and then, I go to class, and everyone's like, what the heck? And I think at that moment, I don't know if all the planes have hit, but, we were seeing the planes that did hit. There was
probably 3 of them.
There was a couple more because I think the Pentagon got hit, right? And another building got hit. And it just seems surreal. I just remember I knew that was a moment in history, but at the moment it's hard to take it all in because you're living it,
Yeah, sure.
So I just remember everybody being kind of thrown off, wow, how did this happen?
Right.
Who would do this? Why did this happen? A lot of questions,
Yeah.
And it made you value your, life in the sense of knowing that there are terrorists that at any moment, if people can get through, they can do harm, right? All the people that were working in that World Trade, not all, but whoever was working there that day, a lot of them didn't make it.
Yeah.
And did you go to the memorial? I think you and
actually we did. We didn't go through the whole exhibit. We just went to the building where the new building.
Okay,
is.
But you still saw the area.
Yeah.
I didn't have any. I've never been in New York City myself, so I would like to go and see.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's writings of people and all the people that were there.
I think it would probably been too much for me to see the whole thing. Like it would have. It would have been too dark for me. Like maybe someday I'll want to see it, but not at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah. it was like, and also we didn't have a lot of time. It was like, yeah, it was like our last day in New York that we went at that time, and it was just like, okay, and kind of the only reason we did is because we needed to take the train from there. So that's kind of why we were in that area. Yeah.
So we were already in the area anyway, so we could just stop by there.
Yeah. And then so I kind of looked around. Yeah. And I'll get back to that. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, and when 9/11 happened, I remember it was just a normal day. I just woke up, took a shower, and I was gonna go. I went because my mom would give me and my little sisters rides to school.
Yeah.
And
that's what happened that morning.
Yeah.
Mom
she was gonna give us a ride. So I went to the car, and I would always listen to this 80s station every morning. That's what I would always listen to.
That was just like your go-to station?
Yeah, because it was like when I was starting to get into like other types of music.
Not just hip-hop. You were already into like Wu-Tang and all that.
Right.
You wanted to get into like other...
Yeah, and they didn't have like good hip-hop stuff at that point anymore. Like Jam Z90 wasn't that great anymore. It was kind of playing more pop stuff.
It was changing at that time. It used to be good, you're saying, but by that time it collapsed.
Yeah. So it was like I was already kind of exploring other shit anyways. Right. So I was listening to this 80s station a lot at that time. So yeah, that was in 2001. And I got in the car and I pressed the radio to listen to that, and it was like some guys talking or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, what the hell? So then I changed it to another channel. I was like, let me hear something else, and it was like, again, guys talking, and I was like, what the hell?
Like, I can't get past this. Like every station
radio talking. And then my mom was like, oh yeah, by the way, there was like some terrorist attack or something, and I was like, what?
Oh, that answers the question.
Yeah, why I can't get I was like, what? And I was like, wow, this must be a big deal then if it's on every damn radio station. And she's like, yeah, they hit like the World Trade Center or something in New York. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I was like, that's a big deal. And she's like, yeah. It was like my mom kind of wasn't thinking about it.
She wasn't thinking about it in the grand
scheme. She was just trying to get us to school. She wasn't thinking about like, how this would change the world. Yeah, I was just trying to listen to the music, and it was like all this shit was on. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this must be a big deal. So then by the time we went to school, everyone was kind of talking about it. And then when we went to my first class,
that's when you started finding out actually what happened.
Like so the teacher turned on the TV and he was having us watch it, and he was like, yep. He's like,
this is what happened.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And we're like, oh shit, like this is crazy. Like this is for real.
It's a moment. Like it almost seems like we're in a movie. Like is this real? Like it is.
Yeah, for sure. And he even said at that time, because he was middle aged. He was probably like 50 something at that time. And he was saying, he's like, you guys will remember this moment for the rest of your life.
See, he knew that that moment in history was going to be something that was going to be memorable.
Right.
Just like COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
And COVID's only 5 years removed?
Yeah.
6 years?
Every 20 years or so, you get like a moment like that.
You get a moment. Yeah. And those were our two moments, right? That was 2001. Then COVID comes like 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had a moment where
exactly.
an epidemic came.
Right.
That can be another topic of conversation.
Yeah, so that's what he was saying. He's like, for my generation, because he was, like I said, he was like 50 something.
Yeah.
He was like, for me, it was JFK when JFK got shot. Yeah. He's like, I'll always remember that. He's like, for this is your moment. Like, he's like, you'll always remember this. And he was like, that's how your brain works. And it was our physiology class, actually. So it fit right into what he was saying. He's like, your brain develops stuff like this. So he's like, yeah, you'll always remember this. And so, I always did. And then after that, it was scary because we were like, oh, damn, what if they do a draft now? You know what I mean? And we were thinking, right?
And we were at that age where
we would have been drafted
17,
17. Yeah, exactly.
Just luckily, they never did.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought about that because, like, I was thinking about joining the military, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then to be drafted is to force you into
you
combat.
have to.
Yeah, you have no choice. So I was always like hoping that, and at that time I had like recruiters trying to recruit me, at high school and stuff.
We got that too.
And people were like, hey, you should join. And I was like, nah. But then when that happened, I was like, I hope they don't pick me.
Yeah.
Luckily, neither one of us got picked.
Yeah.
But that was a moment we were like,
yeah, for sure.
Like we don't get drafted. Yeah.
No, but and so that whole moment, and then just the whole cycle of that, and then seeing like Obama finally capturing Bin Laden, with the whole Zero Dark 30 shit.
We never thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
and it's funny because Bush sends us to war and claims weapons of mass destruction, what he never found.
Yeah,
and his whole tenure of presidency doesn't. And then it took Obama.
Yeah.
First term, because I think it was 2011.
Yeah, it was near the end of
it was near he captures them and kills them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Obama gets them in his first term, and, Bush, it is what it is. But couldn't obviously under his watch couldn't get it done.
Yeah, which is a really interesting story in and of itself.
It is.
Like if you haven't seen Zero Dark 30,
I watched that.
I
watched it. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's about the getting Bin Laden, right?
Getting him.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then also just documentaries on it. Like there's a Scandal Made Me Famous or Murder Made Me Famous on Bin Laden. That one is really good.
I'm pretty sure I haven't watched that one. But,
yeah, it's a really good, interesting story. So that's the thing. Fast forward, being in New York in 2021. That was in 2021, actually, when we went.
I was 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was summer. It wasn't. Yeah, it was like June or July
of that 2021.
2021. Yeah, we were there and sightseeing. It was still kind of COVID, so we were still. It wasn't like full on freedom.
Yeah, because of the COVID. Yeah, you have restrictions or whatever you call it.
But we could still, move around a bit. And so we took the train, and we had to be in that area because I think we took that train to the airport after that. So because it was like our last day being there. So being there, and obviously it was it was rebuilt, the World Trade Center, but
by that time.
Yeah, but walking there, I kind of looked around. I was like, man, like all these people were dead right here.
It must be a lot to take in. I like I said, I've only seen it on the internet and TV.
I mean, it was for me because I could put it into perspective. You know what I mean? Like if you're just some random person walking by there, you might
maybe it doesn't capture you like
that. Or for a kid, you're not gonna know what
that is. You don't get the whole grasp of what you're witnessing.
Yeah, but being there and we didn't, like I said, we didn't go into the museum part of it. We were just outside, but even just walking the street,
it started hitting me like all these people that you were seeing.
Yeah, it looked like looking around, like on this floor there was blood here. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
I'm actually walking in the area where this took place. Right, building fell, blood everywhere, people dead.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole night.
So it was like, man, this is a trip.
It's a piece of history. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We saw it on TV, but we were in San Diego. But to go and actually see where it happened is a whole nother. Yeah, you're actually at the actual site. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's gonna hit harder.
There's a really good documentary called "The Falling Man" about this guy. There's a famous picture, which I actually never saw it at the time, but I mean that's kind of part of the story. There's a picture of a guy, he's like falling down from the World Trade Center, and he's like split, like you can see his silhouette of his body.
It's split,
but like not literally, but like he's like between the two towers in the picture. Like you see his body falling down, like his head first.
Can you pull up this picture?
Yeah, I could show it to you.
Oh, okay, maybe after this.
But it's a really interesting picture, and they did a documentary on it because they never found out actually who that guy was.
And they just caught him like while
this guy was taking pictures. He was
happened to take a picture with his body.
Yeah, he was looking at all the things he developed, and it was like all scattered. It was all different people, falling.
But he found that.
And then he was like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "This one came out perfect because he's like right in the middle of the two towers, and it's like a silhouette of him. You can't see what he fully looks like. And
he caught him like mid as he's falling.
He caught him like almost like looking like a trapeze type of artist or whatever, falling between the two things. And
that's probably something to see. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So they did a documentary on it, and it's been on YouTube before. You can see it on there. I think they have it on Prime. It's a really good documentary.
So it's kind of known, like it's out.
Yeah, it's kind of known, but I didn't know it at the time. Only later on did I find out about it. And they're saying that the guy, he probably was a guy who worked at the restaurant there, because there's a restaurant at the very top. Yeah, the very top. Yeah.
This is it, The Falling Man.
Yeah, let me try to pull it up better. It's kind of hard to see still. But yeah, if you look, he's like perfectly split. Like those are the two towers right there. Yeah,
on both sides.
Yeah, and he's like right in the middle of them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that guy took a picture of that, and then that's the photo.
Yeah, he caught that. And then, but all those people obviously died. All the people, they had, because it was like either they were going to burn alive or choke on.
Or they just jumped to death.
Yeah, and that was like the only
thing. You're going to die.
Yeah, you're going to die.
So you got to basically choose your own death.
Yeah.
You want to burn, or you want to jump out and then just.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why. Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
So yeah,
I don't know if I'd want to sit there and like wait to get burned.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Jump maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At least you get that like 2 seconds of like freedom.
I got in that situation, and then you die.
Yeah.
Rather than just waiting to die.
Yeah, instead of just like feeling on fire.
Yeah. I think I would do it.
Yeah. So if you're interested, I would watch that documentary. It's really interesting. The Falling Man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy how we started American Pie 2 and we ended on 9/11.
Yeah. Well, it came from you saying that the film came out
Right.
a month before,
Yeah.
and then from there we just talked
Yeah.
about it. And I was like, we could do a separate. You're like, well, we can talk about it now.
No, I think it's good because it's the time is right. It's 9/11 is just a couple of days from now.
Yeah. That's
So-
I think today is the 8th, so yeah,
Right.
it's 3 days away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
And
I'll have the full episode, but I'll also will chop it.
chop it so you could put
have
some of
two
that
separate
into
ones too. Yeah. But yeah, American Pie 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hilarious film.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money. Made like 145 million.
What was the budget? Do you remember?
30 million.
So it definitely made its money.
Yeah.
Way more than
it made 145 million in the U.S. alone and 142 overseas. So combine that, that's like 300 million. Yeah, close to it. Yeah, that's pretty damn good, man.
That's good. And this is for 2001.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for that time, it was more than it would be now.
Yeah. So it actually is the highest grossing of the series.
Oh, it made the most?
287.5 million.
The other ones didn't make that much. That's
no, not to that level. I think probably 3 did okay.
Not like close, but obviously you just said it didn't beat it.
No.
Wow. So you can argue that
it's the most successful.
It's the most successful. Not saying it's the best, but it's the most successful.
Yeah.
You can also argue that it's the best.
Yeah.
Overall.
It's pretty damn funny.
It made the most and it's funny. It's definitely an argument for best American Pie.
Yeah, man.
Like you said, a lot of times in films, not in all, they get it right. What they couldn't do in the first, they try to get it right in the second.
They can hone it on the second one.
So the first one was good, but it wasn't as funny, so they made it more funny in the second one.
Yeah.
And of course, they changed it. Now they're in college. They changed some dynamics.
Right. Yeah.
But the main thing is they put more funnier moments in it.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what made it. And anticipation. Because everyone liked the first one. So
exactly.
It's like, let's see the second one.
Let's see what else these jackasses do.
You're going to see it regardless. Because it was like, the first one was pretty good. You want to see if they can top it. And
exactly. I think they did
a good job at trying to top it.
At least money-wise, for sure. And I think funny-wise, they did too.
Yeah. So they topped it. Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
So yeah, American Pie 2.
Right. Yeah, that was American Pie 2. Thanks for joining me, Byron.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Until next time.
Talking with you. Yep.
All right.
Stay tuned, Briterion. Bollection gang. Peace. Later.